Hey everybody, it's David Dyer, and welcome to Idioms episode 31. I'm your host, and Idioms is my mini-cast, 5 minutes at the most. About the same time it takes to get that mat out of your dog's tail before you take her to the groomers. And as the name implies, I talk about idioms. Those phrases we say in everyday conversation that seem completely out of place, yet you know exactly what they mean by the way they're being used. Good! So let's go. This is Idioms episode 31, and the idiom we're going to cover today is face the music. You've heard it! So they're about to shoot the final scene of The Last Jedi, and Hamill had been pissing me off all day. So I stole the batteries from his lightsaber, and what do you know, but during the big climax scene, click, nothing. Well, he uses the Force to figure out it was me who did it, so I ended up having to face the music. Literal meaning, to put your mug right inside the speaker while AC/DC is being played at full blast. Contextual meaning, to accept the unpleasant consequences of something you did. What did you do? So let's explore the origin. Well, few different theories on this one, and I'm gonna go in order from dumbest to most likely. But first, phrases.org.uk says the first evidence of the saying in print comes from the New Hampshire Statesman and State Journal and their August 1834 edition that read, "Will the editor of the Courier explain this black affair? We want no equivocation. Face the music this time." Unfortunately, phrases.org.uk also gives us the silliest of the theories. They say it's possible, though they also say it's not entirely likely, that it comes from an old tradition in British churches called West Gallery singing, which literally involves singing from the West Galleries of English churches by common peasants who weren't allowed to sit in the higher status seats. The theory is that the nobility would be obliged to listen to the songs the peasants were singing that often contained critical lyrics about the ways of the gentry. Rich people forced to listen to poor people berate them with song. I doubt it. Now, the idioms.com gives us something that's a little more believable. They say the phrase might come from musical theater. Now, for those of you who don't know or pay attention when you go to the theater, right in front of the stage, yet down below, is what's called the orchestra pit. And as I'm sure you can guess, that's where the music comes from. Well, if you're on stage and you're facing towards the crowd, you're also facing the music. But it's not that simple. You see, the theory states that nervous or inexperienced actors would be required to muster up all the courage and confidence they could so they could face that music and deliver a strong performance for the paying public. I don't know. I still think it's about getting in trouble, and you're not really in trouble if you're nervous, unless you blow the gig because you wet your pants on stage. Then you'd be in hot water. Literally. Finally, Bloomsbury-International.com gives us what I think is probably the most plausible theory because it falls more in line with how we use it today. They say the phrase probably has its origin in the US around the early to mid-1800s, and it comes from the military. When a soldier did something that warranted his dismissal from the army, a ceremony would be held to announce their misdeeds to the rest of the troops. Well, part of the ceremony involved a drum line. And while the disgraced soldier made his exit from the ceremony, he would be drummed off. The drums would be the music linked to the acceptance of his misdeeds. Thus, he'd faced the music. I like that one because it better reflects the way we use it today. The phrase is used to express dealing with something you need to be held accountable for. This one hits close to home. Hell, I do tons of stupid stuff. I haven't just faced music. I've had to face whole concerts. Do you know how many Amazon packages I've had to try to explain to my wife after they've arrived? Who buys goggles for their dog? This guy. That's who. That's my boy. So that's it. Episode 31 of Idioms is complete, and if John Bonham was drumming me off, I'd try to get in trouble. You ever heard that shuffle beat on A Fool in the Rain? Classic. I'm your host, David Dyer. Thanks for listening. Check back for new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, but until then, I'll catch you on the flip side.